Hello there, my name is Hocus Pocus, and welcome back to the Minecraft LP series. This is episode 154, and if you were with me for the last one, you might recall that we did a little bit more work here over at the Panda Sanctuary. So the wall it's developing, right? And it is probably almost complete as well, because what we want to do, the aim of this area of the world, is to just make a small habitat for some pandas to live in so that we can, keep them safe over here by the base and make sure that their needs are taken care of and that they aren't under any threat. Although, I guess pandas generally aren't in any threat in Minecraft, but we can pretend that they are. We can pretend that they are. And for that reason, we will keep pretending, as I say, and make sure that the Panda Sanctuary here is the perfect home. A hospitable, small piece of land that they can humbly live in and remain unharmed and unabused, I guess. So that's where we are. That is where we are. And I was mentioning in the last episode that we still haven't figured out what we're going to do here. So the wall does end at the water, but we don't want the pandas to be able to escape. So I'm thinking that we possibly create a small glass wall that diagonally runs between these 2 points, just to make sure that, as I say, they remain inside of this area and don't go wandering off into the great unknown over there. Because the whole idea of keeping pandas in Sanctuary is to make sure that they do stay within the walls of it, so we will have to ensure that that is the case. Anyway guys, I've got a lot to speak about today, so let's get moving on. Okay then guys, so to kick things off, let's take a look at what we've got going on here. So in this small area, we have designed and adapted the region to make it look as though it's more habitual. And we want to make sure that this is the case across the entire landmass here. So what we've got is a combination of grass. We've got some path blocks, some gravel, some coarse dirt. And we've also got podzol in there as well. And then once we've intermixed those blocks, we've of course used some bone meal to grow the tall grass. And then intermittently, we got some bamboo here and there, which is coming together to make a nice look. So what we want to do is just make sure we got enough of those blocks, podzol, coarse dirt, gravel. And you can already see that we're looking rather low here. So I think our first task, there is a bit more podzol. Our first task is probably to make sure that we've got enough of these guys. So I'm going to head down into the base, grab some gravel. We might need to get some more dirt, which we can grab from here as well to mix up to make some coarse dirt. We definitely need more podzol. And then we should be looking good, right? Because the shovel allows us to make path blocks. It's running low though, so that might mean a visit to the gold farm. And that did mean a trip to the gold farm, and if you'll excuse the squealing of these piggies, then I just want to say, guys, I did mention there is a lot to talk about in this episode, so if you just hang on for a couple more seconds, we'll gather up the resources required for the build, head back over to the Panda Sanctuary, and then we'll do a bit of talking, because I got some things to discuss about a new schedule, and possibly more interaction opportunities between us, just because the channel has been getting a bit slow recently, and I don't like the way it's heading. So, ladies and gentlemen, I am perfectly happy with the terrain here, so we're just going to jump right into mixing in some of the textures. And as I said, I have got some things to talk about. So I've mentioned this a few times in recent videos that I've been apologizing, because the content has tailed off since the change in working hours. And I knew it would, I was fairly confident this would be the case because it... working full-time, especially when there's a lot to do once you get home from work as well. It doesn't leave you with a lot of time to record videos, which is a huge shame because we had a good amount of momentum going on the older schedule, and you guys seem to be enjoying what you were seeing. And although we still are creeping up in numbers here, which is somewhat unbelievable, I can't believe that people are still stopping by and sort of hitting the subscribe button, even though they're probably looking at the channel and thinking, oh, okay, this guy hasn't posted in, a week or so now. Seems to be one video per week, and sometimes they're not particularly that long at all. So, as I say, it's kind of hard to believe that people are still stopping by and subscribing. I guess some people probably don't look at the channel before subscribing, so perhaps... they just liked one video and were maybe hoping that there'd be something else to tickle their fancy later on down the line. So anyway, that's a bit besides the point. We've gone off on a little bit of a tangent there. What I was going to say is that I've decided that we are going to take a stand against what's currently going on. So I'm not going to be quitting my job or anything like that. Can't really afford to do so. So for now, I will be working on the limited time that I have been working on recently, which shouldn't hopefully affect what I'm going to do, but I'm going to just say that we're going to introduce a schedule, and hopefully one that is rigid, one that we stick to. And it's not going to be anything too difficult to follow either. We're not going to make it too hard on ourselves. So the schedule will be as follows, and listen closely because I don't want any of you guys to miss out on this information. The schedule is as follows. We're going to be posting for sure on Sundays and Wednesdays. Wednesdays, the video will be released at 4:30 as they regularly are when I upload during the week. And then on Sundays, the videos will be uploaded at 4:30 or sooner. So I'm just going to get the videos on Sunday out as soon as possible pretty much. But they will be uploaded on Sunday either on the hour. So for example, they'll be uploaded at maybe 4 p.m. or on the half hour. So 3:30 p.m. for example, they'll be uploaded. So it will be 4:30 or sooner on Sundays. And then on Wednesdays, it will be 4:30 p.m. But that's not to say that those will be the only videos I will release. So I was possibly thinking as well that we could try and get some bonus content out there when I do have time. But for now, we will just stick with the definite videos being on Wednesdays and Sundays. However, I did also consider the fact that maybe we could look into some different games, possibly, so that they'd be a little bit easier for me to record, because recording the LP series on Minecraft can be very time-consuming, just because there's a lot of work that goes into each episode, of course, and there's a lot of cuts and things like that, because it isn't really interesting, or I wouldn't think it'd be interesting for you guys to just watch continuous gameplay, especially when doing things like this, because it can be quite monotonous, quite linear, quite boring. So I do like to cut it up and mix things up so that you guys don't have to sit there and watch too much boring gameplay, you know? So I'm thinking of other games that we could possibly play that, as I say, would take less time to record. And I don't know what I'll come up with because I haven't really thought of anything just yet. But trying to think of games that you guys might enjoy as well, because, you know, we are not necessarily a Minecraft channel, but that is the primary game that we play. And for that reason, I don't want to stray too far from Minecraft, you know. If we play anything else, I will try to keep it similar. But yeah, looking into other options just to make sure that the content stays stable, the content stays consistent. And as I say, just don't forget that we will be uploading on Wednesdays and Sundays for sure. And then hopefully here and there we'll get some bonus content out. So I just want to quickly sleep for the night before we continue, but there is a little bit more to go over. So give me just a second. And the next part of this announcement that I'm making at the moment is that I will also be trying to schedule streams more frequently. So what I'm planning to do is hopefully do at least one stream every 2 weeks, and I will make sure that you guys know very far in advance so that we can get as many people there as possible. They might have to be on weeknights now though. That is going to be the major difference. Instead of weekends, we might go for weeknights, because the weekend is the greatest chance I have of recording a lot of content, you know, because I get mainly 2 days off. Occasionally I will work a Saturday morning. Well, I say occasionally. More often than not, I will work a Saturday morning, but that still leaves me with a good amount of time to record content. So weekends we'll try to keep stream free unless we have already prepared what we've got for the weekend and Wednesday. But as I say, hopefully we'll get one stream every 2 weeks at least, if not more. And as I say as well, we will make sure that they are pre-planned so that you guys know exactly when and where they'll be happening. And that will give us the best chance of getting as many people there as possible, which is, I guess, the aim of streams, right? Is to have an audience there, which sometimes there's obviously the faithful of you. And I'm not saying that you have to be there, but occasionally we don't get too many people in the streams. And they kind of die down sooner than I'd like them to. So we'll try our best to get as many people in as possible with the pre-planning. And then finally, one more thing to say before this segment of the video is wrapped up. We are going to be posting a lot more frequently on social media pages. So I recently set up an Instagram. All of the links will be down in the description. I've got a Facebook page, a Twitter. I have a Reddit, subreddit. I mean, that one maybe isn't going to be as popular as the rest, but if you guys want to go check it out, you certainly can. And as I say, the Instagram account will be down there. I made that yesterday. I've got one test post on there at the moment that I might remove. I just wanted to see how things worked because I've actually never used Instagram before. But I'm going to try and post at least once per day on the social media channels, and that should give us a little bit more opportunity to communicate as well, just because social media is a quicker way to do things like that. So the posts you guys can interact with, of course, and we can get talking and that kind of thing. And that just means that aside from the videos, there will be more opportunities, as I say, for us to be in contact and for us to be talking about our favorite game, which is, of course, Minecraft. So that was pretty much all I needed to say for the announcements for today's video. I hope you guys are looking forward to having a bit more consistent content, a bit more content in total. And I'm definitely looking forward to it because, as I say, the channel has been heading downwards since the change, and we don't want things like that to be happening. So, yeah, that's it, as I say. Let's continue with today's episode. Whew. Okay, guys. So, as you can see, the textures are now mixed in, and it's looking slightly strange, but it goes from this to this, so it's going to be good. It's going to be good, I promise. And the next part is one of my favorite parts, but this has been quite a lot of work. I've been working here now for maybe 20 to 30 minutes to get all of this done, which might surprise some of you because it doesn't seem like it would be that bad, but trust me, it's bad. Well, anyway, as I say, this is my favorite part right now because I don't know what it is about planting grass. It just kind of satisfies me, so I'm gonna just do it. I like it. I don't know what it is. I thought I'd go quiet there so you guys could experience what I experience. Don't you guys just find that satisfying? I just find it so satisfying. I don't know why. Anyway, I'm gonna continue here. Make sure that we've grassed up this entire area. Gonna have it looking nice and bushy, nice and thick. That's what we want it to appear like. We don't want too many gaps in between the grass. And then once we've done that, it's time for some more bamboo. And I'm thinking maybe jungle trees as well in here at certain points because it might give us a little bit more variety. So let's get this done. Okay, guys, just finished up with the grass, and I'd say this is looking rather neat. I like it. I do like it. We've got the feel exactly the way I wanted it to be. Nice and grassy, nice and bushy. Thick areas of grass, not too much distance in between any tall grass at all. So it's looking good. It is definitely looking good. Now we've got our bamboo, and I'm going to just drop off a couple of other items here to clear up some inventory space just in case. We may also need some more bamboo, and there's an easy fix for that now that we got this guy running. We can always just head over here, and oh, look at this. Tons of bamboo, exactly what we're after. So let's go back over to the sanctuary and see what we can make of this. So the bamboo is intermittently placed again. It's a little bit of gap in between it, so we'll just make sure we do kind of the same thing here. And occasionally what we might do is just break a flower or some grass to get it in, just to like shoehorn some bamboo in here and there. Because, of course, we want to, although we want the grass there, we don't want it to stop the bamboo from being planted, because bamboo is one of the main thematically correct items to use in a panda sanctuary, I would say, just because pandas eat bamboo in real life. So we need to make sure that we're growing bamboo in their sanctuary, otherwise it doesn't make too much sense, because the pandas could, I guess, technically be starving if we don't provide them bamboo. I know they don't starve, but don't want pizza on the case, do we? So I'm going to continue here with the planting, make sure that we've got enough bamboo to have things looking pretty good, and we should probably get some more grass in this area maybe. I'll come back to that though. It looked a bit threadbare there. Anyway, as I say, plant some more bamboo, make it look awesome, and I'll bring you guys back in once again to check it out. Fields of bamboo before our eyes. We're done, which is good. We've got it out of the way. And it can be difficult sometimes, actually, and it doesn't seem like it would be, you know, to plant just large areas of crops and things like that. But when you're trying to make sure that you're not clustering things too much in a large area, it can be difficult to keep track of. And I don't know if you guys have ever done any large-scale building, but if you have, you probably know what I'm talking about. And sometimes it's in the back of my mind, like here, in this position here, we don't have too much bamboo. So right now we might even just plant some because it looks a little bit bare. And we want to make sure that it's consistent, but not too clustered, as I say. So let's do that. And then what we're going to do now is try to get a few jungle trees in here, just because I think that fit the theme. And whilst we're doing that, I've got a small, funny story to tell you guys that happened to me just the other day. So recently, some of you probably will be aware that the new Call of Duty game came out, and I downloaded it on my PC. because it's been a while since I've played a first-person shooter with keyboard and mouse. So I was really interested, to get back into that and see if I'm any good. Which, side note, I'm not. I'm bad. I'm horrible. But that's besides the point. Anyway, I use my headset, which I've stopped using now to record videos with for the time being, just because I find it a bit more comfortable to use smaller earbuds. But that's besides the point. So I pulled up my headset and I put it on, ready to play a few games. And usually there's one of my friends that play with me. Unfortunately, he wasn't in the Discord at the time. Otherwise, it might have been funny to sort of gauge his reaction and tell you guys as well. But I was positive that I could feel something itching against my ear. So I pulled the headset off once, and without taking a look or anything, I kind of just scratched my ear where it was itching. Felt like there was something just moving around on my ear, something small moving around in my ear that was causing it to itch. So I pulled the headset off, scratched the ear, and put it back on. Thought everything should be okay at this point. I've scratched the itch. I should be ready to continue gaming. But of course, that wasn't the case, and that isn't where the story ends. So a few moments later, I feel the same sort of feeling on my ear, and I'm thinking, you know what? That kind of feels like there's a fly or something walking on my ear, like a really small bug maybe walking on my ear. So I take the headset off again, and what did I find inside of the headset? A tiny spider which had been crawling around inside my ear, inside of the cup of the headset, and it kind of disgusted me a little bit because, just the thought of having maybe a spider inside of your ear doesn't seem as though it'd be something fun to happen to you. So I think I got kind of lucky that he didn't decide to crawl into the ear canal at all. He just stayed on the outside. But yeah, very, very strange occurrence. And I don't know what the chances are of something like that happening, but they've got to be pretty slim, right? Because, that's the first time I've ever experienced anything like that. But it was just so strange, I felt like there was a little bug in there. And then all of a sudden I take the headset off, and I was right. There was a little spider crawling around in there. So that was kind of funny. And then, kind of freaky at the same time. But I got over it pretty quickly. It was only a tiny spider. And I kind of gave the headset a little bit of a bash. He fell out, ran away, and I don't know where he is now. So I hope he's living a fulfilled life and not crawling around in anybody else's ear. But yeah, just very, very strange. Something I doubt will ever happen to me ever again. But I'm going to be a bit more careful where I leave my headset now. Anyway, aside from the story, game-wise, we've planted a few jungle trees. I want to get a better view of this, though. Just see what we're looking like. Make sure they're not too close together or anything like that. And yeah, you know what? I like it. A few more trees in there is definitely upped our game. I think this is definitely looking very cool. There is one more thing to do, though. I kind of want the vines to run around the entire wall, and at the moment they don't. So I think we should have some shears in here. Perfect, we do. Any vines? No, I'm going to dump as much as I can as well here. Unfortunately, still got a few things hanging around, but what we're going to do is just use the shears to grab up a few of these vines, the temporary, or not temporary vine farm, but we're kind of using the walls here as a vine farm since we don't have one. Something else to add to the list, right guys? Something else to add to the list of things we need to build, and then we're just going to keep running them across wherever we can. So let's get them in like this. And yeah, I'm going to make sure they are all the way around the wall before we do anything else here. And now, sooner or later, we should have some viney, green, jungle-like walls. And by that, I basically mean that we've put vines all the way around and that they take a while to grow. But over time, they will continue to do so. And we should have vines drooping from the top all the way down to the bottom. Now, I do have some more plans for this area, and I'll kind of outline them to you guys quickly before we end the video today. So after we've taken a quick look, so as you can see, all the way out to the wall and all the way out to the end there. So the plans. Let's get an aerial view. That might be a little bit more useful to talk about this. So, and it would also give us a chance to check how things are looking. Pretty cool. I like that. There's a definite contrast between the inside of the sanctuary and the environment around it, which is definitely what I was going for. But in terms of plans, I think I've mentioned this already. I want a rail track that runs out of the ravine base all the way over to the Panda Sanctuary here. I think that'd be quite cool to finally use some of our alternative rail routes. So that's the first thing. The second thing I want to do is create a walkway, an observation walkway that goes all the way around the outside of this thing, because what's the point in having a panda sanctuary if we can't see the pandas, right? And with such high walls, there won't be many opportunities to do so unless you're up in the trees, and I don't know what reason you'd have to be up here. Look at this guy, by the way. He shouldn't be out in the daylight, but his helmet's saving him. Anyway, I digress. Again, the walkway will run all the way around the outside so that we can actually observe the pandas. I'm also thinking about maybe popping in a few windows down at floor level so that we can see through as well, just kind of like they would be in a zoo where you can peer through at the animals on the inside. So this is going to be sort of a mini zoo, I suppose. So walkway, windows, railway track, and altogether I think we'll have a pretty damn cool looking panda sanctuary. And then we've just got the ginormous task of finding a jungle, getting the pandas back to the base, which could be, I don't know, thousands of blocks. It will be thousands of blocks. I'm certain of that. So could be fun, could be interesting. I don't know. We will surely see. Anyway, you guys, I think it's about time we wrap up this video. So I will be right back. Alright then, guys, welcome back to the video for the last time for today. I do hope that you enjoyed episode 154 of the LP series. I hope you also enjoy the progress we're making with the Panda Sanctuary. I had a lot of fun recording it again today, and I'm quite excited now. We're moving forward once again, I believe, especially with the new schedule, and I think it's time we did have a schedule, because then, although it's only 2 videos a week, right, it's very easy for me to keep up with 2 videos a week, so don't expect this to tail off at all. We will stick to it, and as I say, follow the social medias down in the description, because that's where I want to start posting more frequently. We're going to post memes, we'll post screenshots from the world, I might even post some more personal stuff, things I'm doing in my life outside of the channel. I think that's interesting to you guys as well, and definitely something I wouldn't mind sharing with you guys. Obviously, as long as it's not too personal, I don't mind sharing at all. So that's where we're going to be heading with that. So make sure to stay tuned. Wednesdays at 4:30 and Sundays at 4:30 or earlier, but probably some point in the afternoon. I would say Sundays between 12 p.m. and 4:30 p.m. And then we will also plan our first stream for the next 2 weeks very soon. So the Discord is the place to be for that. Anyway, you guys, as I say, I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to subscribe if you're new around here or haven't subscribed yet and you're interested in staying tuned to the series. It's going to be, well, so far it's been a great one. It's going to continue to be that way, I'm sure. Make sure to drop a like if you enjoyed the video, and any comments, I would appreciate those down in the comment section below so we get some communication going. And that's pretty much it from me, guys. So take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.